energy emergency declaration that will prevent oil and gas companies from imposing exploitive, excessive gas and clean energy prices on families. Another kitchen table issue, Democrats are working to lower food prices by working for the grocery store with the Ag Committee yesterday marking a bipartisan bill.
A $1,400 fourth stimulus check is coming very soon, and lawmakers are working together with state governments to put together a new plan that provides some financial relief to low-income households. A new report by the U.S. Census Bureau, the number of Americans living in poverty decreased when stimulus check payments were factored in. The official poverty measure, which is determined by the Census Bureau, indicated that 11.4% of people were living in poverty, an increase of 1 percentage point in 2020. The increase was the first after 5 consecutive years of decline. However, when looking at a more complete supplemental of poverty, which factored in streams of income like stimulus payments, it was found that the number of Americans in poverty actually decreased. The founder on the Center of Budget and Policy Priorities said the decrease from stimulus checks was proof that the federal government can help poverty levels. Now, Congress did pass already 5 bipartisan crisis response bills last year, totaling close to $3.5 trillion and signed into law by the former president. Now, though some of the federal aid last year was delayed for reasons from wrangling over costs to problems with distribution, President Biden's current economic plan extends a tax credit for families with children, which is seen as a strategy for reducing childhood poverty and its long-term consequences. For more than 8 years, Colorado Senator Michael Bennet has been trying to expand the child tax credit and help lift kids out of poverty. The maximum total expanded credit was worth around $3,600 per child, 5 and under. And now senior advocacy groups are continuing to urge congressional lawmakers to pass legislation that provide a one-time stimulus check of $1,400.
Because we have a world-class, highly skilled, and highly committed workers. I urge Samsung and Stellantis and any company investing in the United States to enter into partnerships with our most highly skilled and dedicated and engaged workers you can find anywhere in the world, American union members. Stellantis knows how much benefit comes from a successful relationship with the union in America. They have a national agreement with my friend Ray Curry, the United Auto Workers. For every joint venture that manufactures electric vehicle batteries would be made stronger by collective bargaining relationships with American unions. We also have outstanding, skilled, dedicated union building and construction trades workers ready to build a new Samsung facility in Texas. So let's work together to make this happen and to get that plant built on time and on budget, safely and efficiently. Because union labor means high quality work that delivers the best possible return on investment. The United States has premier colleges and universities, a culture that fosters innovation and entrepreneurship, a transparent and predictable legal system where companies know their ideas and their investments will be protected. And my administration is doubling down on all of these trends. We're investing more than $1 trillion to upgrade America's infrastructure coast to coast over the next decade. And hopefully soon, the Bipartisan Innovation Act will deliver historic federal investments in U.S. research and development, including funding for something called the CHIPS Act and these technological development. Artificial intelligence, quantum technologies, 5G, and so very much more, things we haven't even thought of at this point. This plan also reflects the close bonds and innovation between our countries. Much of the technology and machinery that is used to make these chips was designed and produced in the United States.
You also see with 7 largest oil companies announcing buybacks that could total $41 billion this year alone. And again, why is this not being passed on to the consumer when they have all of the success that they have? We'll soon pass the Consumer Fuel Price Gouging Prevention Act to crack down on big oil's price gouging, which spikes prices at the pump for America's families. The bill, what it does is enables the president to issue an energy emergency declaration that will prevent oil and gas companies from imposing exploitive, excessive gas and clean energy prices on families. Another kitchen table issue, Democrats are working to lower food prices by
To be eligible to receive the stimulus card benefits, you must be a Chicago resident and have a valid city sticker for your vehicle. Now, data provided by the City of Chicago suggests that the median household income for a family of 4 is $93,000. According to local Chicago news stations, 75% of these cards will prioritize residents in community areas that have higher mobility hardship, while the remaining 25% will be distributed citywide. Now, costly gasoline prices could hamper the United States' economic recovery if it continues. So central is the price of fuel to the household budgets for millions of people. However, with an influence of factors sparking the recent price increase, a quick remedy seems unlikely. Inflation rates have been increasing sharply since August 2021 and have been out of the normal 2 to 4% range for a full year. The Consumer Price Index rose 8.5% for the year ending in March. And now, Jerome Powell said last week, it is our job to make sure that inflation of that unpleasant high nature doesn't get entrenched in the economy. This was after he announced a half-point interest rate hike to combat inflation. Still, people are struggling with rising costs, everywhere from the grocery store to the gas pump. Keeping prices stable is part of the Fed's mandate, but so far inflation has kept increasing higher. The GOP is already leveraging inflation to weaken Democrats heading into the midterm elections, as they argue that Biden and congressional Democrats have only caused the problem. Do you agree with this, everybody? Tell me in the comments down below. We have a ton of good news, Social Security benefits, SSI, and SSDI information that you want to know. Stay until the end of the video because you definitely don't want to miss out on this. Workers in other states will be receiving a $750 stimulus check, and just a few days ago, the office of Minnesota Governor Tim Walz confirmed that a bipartisan agreement had been made to provide frontline workers and small business owners with additional stimulus checks. In a statement, the governor said, the state of Minnesota continues to show the country that a divided legislature can still come together to get things done. This bill will provide hazard pay to frontline workers and relief for small business owners. Speaker Melissa Horman also said that the priority of the new package is to ensure that frontline workers who went to work every day, even during the worst days of the crisis, received the bonuses that they were promised last year. Now, the plan was formally approved by the Minnesota House of Representatives in February. Now, Republicans and Democrats originally couldn't agree on who could be eligible for the checks, with Democrats working to make them available to a broader range of workers. While Republicans wanted the money to be directed primarily to first responders and nurses and doctors, an estimated 667,000 workers from Minnesota will be able to claim the check. And if you've got a tax return filed, whether it was before or after the April 18th deadline, a tax refund should be headed to your way very soon. That's if you're expecting one. If you file on time, your refund money should arrive within 21 days of filing, and as long as there are no errors and you file electronically instead of direct deposit. To keep tabs on your refund, you can start tracking your refund. You can start tracking it to your bank account after the IRS begins